Afghanistan, because there are reports today that the U.S. is now on the eve of an agreement with the government in Afghanistan that would allow the U.S. to keep troops in Afghanistan, thousands of them, beyond the end of next year. And one of the requirements that the Afghans have made is they want a formal apology from the President of the United States. Is the President ready to apologize to Afghanistan in order to keep U.S. troops on the ground there?
No, Wolf. I've seen those reports. I have no idea where they come from. That is a complete misunderstanding of what the situation is.
Well, what is this letter? This letter that Karzai wants the president to give, in which he acknowledges that the U.S. erred in various ways in dealing with what's going on in Afghanistan. A lot of people are interpreting that as an apology.
No such letter has been drafted or delivered. There is not a need for the United States to apologize to Afghanistan. Quite the contrary. We have sacrificed and supported them in their democratic progress and in tackling the insurgency and al-Qaeda. So that is not on the table. We are in the last stages of negotiating what we call a bilateral security agreement. It was agreed between Secretary Kerry and President Karzai last month. The last details are still being negotiated, and if agreed, it will be put towards their lawyer, Jirga. It's important for Afghanistan that they have that agreement with the United States, because that would enable us to continue training and assisting Afghan forces, providing the support that they so badly need, and continuing to help them develop their economy. Without such an agreement, that level of cooperation would be all but impossible.
Important work that you guys are doing. And one final question, Ambassador Rice. I know your time is limited. You've been with President Obama from while he was running back in 2007, 2008. You were an early supporter. You see him now multiple times a day. How's he doing in the aftermath of his poll numbers going down, people questioning his reliability, his honesty, if you will? Give us a little insight, information on how he's doing, how he's behaving, reacting to all of this.
Well, if the president's doing great. He's a very even-tempered, get-it-done guy. And he's here working every day to do what's best for the American people and for America's leadership role in the world. And he can never get too up or too down based on what a poll here or a poll there may say. He's been around long enough to know that the business of serving the American people is a tough and sometimes thankless job. He does it with pride and with a great deal of commitment to get done the many things: growing our economy, creating jobs, providing health care for all Americans, keeping us safe and secure, that he was elected twice to do. And
so you're basically saying he's on an even keel right now.
Absolutely.
But he's got to be a little disappointed and depressed given the serious problems that the Affordable Care Act rollout have created.
I think he's certainly frustrated, but he's by no means depressed or down. He is his normal, active and enthusiastic self.
How are you doing? Other than your voice?
Other than my cold, I'm great.
All right, and you enjoy your new job after the United Nations?
I am very much. Thank you.
Thank you.